Welcome to the Town of Fairfield Shellfish Commission meeting, September 11th, 2014. Call to order. Present are John Shore, Sean Cohen, Bruce Kiefner, Lizette Enhofer, Cindy Wakeman, and Bishop from Conservation. So we have a quorum. Real quick, before we start, just want to make an announcement, and there won't be any discussion on it. Is Tim Macklin and Todd Kennedy have resigned from the commission. So we want to thank them for everything they've done while they were here and wish them well.
Here.
All right. Okay, approval of the draft meeting minutes. So we have to approve 2 sets of minutes because we didn't have a quorum last month. So we got the July 10th, 2024 minutes. Anyone have any changes, corrections?
Actually, I actually have August. Entitled.
It says August, but then it has the July minutes behind.
Yeah, the July should be first.
And it's headed agenda, and it really should be
Oh, I
minutes.
see.
Oh,
They're both the July 10th. They're both the same thing. What's the agenda, July 10th? Minutes, July 10th. Okay, there we go. Minutes and agenda.
yeah, it's
So
just,
the agenda would have been,
it says the agenda, but it's actually the minutes,
Yeah.
right?
No, we have it. Because when we were here, when we were here on August 14th, it says the minutes from July 10th is what we were supposed to approve. So,
You should say minutes.
yes, it
Word
does.
agenda has to be replaced by word minutes.
No, it is replaced. It's here in the, when you look at the minutes, when you look at the agenda from August 14th, if you look there, it has the minutes from July 10th. So the agenda from last month contained the minutes from July. Gonna see?
That's not
Commissioner
an
Enhofer is right. You're right.
voting should be minutes.
It is
Right,
minutes.
right here.
It is minutes.
Minutes,
You're
right.
just looking at the wrong packet.
Go second page. Yeah, you're looking at there's two.
There's two. So if you look at the one that you were looking at, it probably has the,
Or maybe behind there, or maybe that one too, right?
it may have the minutes from the month before.
Where did you see those 6 minutes?
Right down. If you look at. So here we have the agenda, August 14th. On the second page. Oh, mine says minutes, yours doesn't.
All right, so there's 2 different
That's so
packets here. Bruce,
They're two
mine
different
says
packets.
agenda.
So does mine.
I have one of each.
Lizette says minutes and Sean has one of each. So,
Okay.
Oh, in any case, it has to say minutes.
yes, so it will be changed to
So
minutes.
somewhere along the
All right.
lines, make sure the final copy says it.
Anything else on July 10th?
Quick glance, no, everything looks fine.
All right, does someone want to make a motion to approve the minutes of July 10th,
I'll
2024?
make a motion to approve the minutes of July 10th, 2024.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion approved. All right. Second is,
We'll do August.
all right, so now we're going to approve the draft meeting minutes of August 14th, 2024. So same thing. Any changes, corrections,
I
or
didn't see anything.
questions? Which was basically the discussion. We went over some reports and things like that.
This is a discussion.
I move that we accept the August minutes.
Second the motion.
All in favor? Aye. Motion approved. Minutes approved for August 14th, 2024. All right, we go to bills and communications. Clam relay and planting. We talked about possibly getting some more clams right before the clinic. We did put some clams out. It's not gonna be the best tide in the world. There won't be any sand showing, so there'll be a little water. I was thinking maybe we could buy $1,000 worth of clams, little necks. They're available. Everything's set up with conservation. If we approve, someone makes a motion and we approve $1,000 to buy little necks.
Yeah, I'll make the motion. 1,000 to buy little necks.
Take the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 All right, so
About $1,000 worth of little necks is about how many?
about 4,000.
Okay.
So give or take, I think little necks, they were $100 for 400. It might be a little more than that now. But approximately say 3,500, I guess.
Mhm.
We'll go with. Which is good for that if we put it right beyond the swim buoys and that, so. So we're set up for 9 AM tomorrow to pick up the clams. And or pick them up before that and then put them in at 9. Is there anyone that wants to go for the boat
I
ride?
can do it.
So yacht yard, 9 AM.
Yep.
All right, Tim, you know about that, right?
I do, thank you.
Okay. Anything else on clam relay or planting? No, all right, we'll go to water and habitat quality. Um,
In August, we were open for 3 days, closed for 28. We received 8.59 inches of rain. Year to date, we have been open for 109 days and closed for 135.
I'm open now, so. Anything else on water and habitat? No. All right, let's go to permits and access. Cindy?
So the total permits issued so far is 303. Received through the mail is 95 and online is 208. It's pretty good.
Yeah, we broke 300, right?
Yeah.
We'll probably sell a few at the clinic.
Last year, we were 370, so we're a little bit down.
A little bit down, yeah. You gotta figure, you know, we hit those big numbers right there when everyone was going outside during the end of COVID there. Yeah, it'd be nice if we're around 350. We may still get there, you never know.
I think not having a clinic in the spring, earlier in the summer, probably,
Yeah. Well, next year,
and all the closures, I mean.
yeah, a lot of closures, especially all summer long. All right, anything else on permits and access? Southport Beach reopening, I think we discussed that, no report right now. So, we had a meeting when we talked.
I wasn't in August. I heard
Okay.
about us wanting to apply for things.
Yeah, so basically Alyssa came back with a report that was not good. So myself and Bishop Sands Clary talked and we're gonna come up with some kind of plan to attempt to rectify the situation, but it's a long process, it seems like.
I mean, the assumption is based upon the previous report that as has been discussed here, that the problem is coming from the Mill River. So the question is where and what's the process to determine where? And what's the testing and the protocol? And Sands Clary, in talking with him about it some time ago, said that although he's not an expert at that, he knows people who are. And what the protocol is, how you approach it.
So we're together, Sands Cleary with Tim Bishop and the Shellfish Commission are gonna work on a plan. Obviously, they know about more research sources than maybe we do. So we're gonna work on something coming up.
Sounds good.
Alright, commercial shellfish regulations. There's no real report on commercial shellfish regulations, but there are some boats harvesting off of Southport Beach, where the material from the dredging is gonna be dumped. I don't know if anyone saw when it ended up with one of those boats, but it ended up on top of Sunken Island at low tide. Now, I didn't call Dave Carey or anything like that, but that boat, I don't know what it's doing over at Sunken Island if they're harvesting off of Southport Beach. And also,
Where's Sunken Island?
Sunken Isles off of Bell 22, the red.
but it could have been, I guess it could have been worse,
Jesus. They hit that thing at speed?
I guess.
Yeah.
And
Ouch.
so, yeah. Commercial shellfish
Not
regulation,
exactly a secret.
Sunken Island.
Yeah.
No, it's been there forever and I don't know, it's just interesting that the boat was in that area. But that'll be ending pretty soon because of dredging.
I don't know whether you want to discuss it now, but if there's a reasonable possibility that the dredging will be starting within the next 2 months.
Right.
So if we want to do anything off of in Southport Harbor, we need to initiate that sooner rather than later.
Such as harvesting?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I talked to Dave Carey about it and we feel that until the boat traffic dies down, it's not worth it putting any kind of boat in there to get any product out. So hopefully, if we have a couple months, we can hit a couple week period where a boat can go in there and try to harvest what's in
We'll
there.
probably know this week what the Army Corps is doing.
So with your experience over Southport Harbor, when do the boats come out? About a
End
year,
of October.
end of October.
But if the Army Corps is going to bring in equipment with what they will do initially is they will do long arm excavators and they will pile up the sand. And they will do that from the country club property. Subsequent to that, they will bring in a hopper barge, not the Currituck, but a sister ship to the Currituck. And they will take the material that they've stacked on the beach, put it into the hopper barge, deposit it in the designated area, then the hopper barge or the Currituck will start to suck up sand as it's configured to do and put the sand in the hopper barge and then take it out. The hopper barge is self-powered as opposed to a regular hopper barge having no power. And the whole thing will probably take about a month, but once a Currituck or its sister ship is there, it will be virtually impossible to get in and out of the harbor. So the harbor master may say, you have to get out of the harbor. And he will say, it's not October 31st, it's
Right.
October 5th or something. I mean,
I guess what we're talking about is we may have there might be a week or two in between the boats coming out and other ships coming in where someone might be able to get in there and harvest. We'll know when
harvesting will probably only take a couple days, right?
Oh, yeah, it's a small area. They're either gonna start picking up product and if there's nothing there, they'll move on, but it is from,
There's,
there's a good beat.
if they're doing it presumably at high tide, if they're doing it during the morning hours, there's no boat traffic. I mean, during weekdays, there's no
They tend to
boat.
work in the morning, so,
I mean,
probably would be high tide in the summer to get any kind of boat in there. So we'll know more next month, so we'll discuss.
we'll know by the beginning of next week what the Army Corps' plans are.
I mean, there's not much in it for us if it gets harvested. It's just getting it out of the,
It's only by way of information that if we want to do something if that's our intent, that we'll know in advance and we'll have a short window
Short window.
to go in there. We don't wanna do it, that's okay too, so it may not even be worth doing.
Well, there's probably something in there, and I was thinking of the shellfish fisherman that came to the meetings a bunch of times, Mike Oravez.
The reality is, it's all sand.
All right, so let's move off this topic. Oyster bed development. All right, so oyster bed development. We have a few oysters hanging at the docks that we have to plant. We can do that anytime in the next few weeks. We'll handle the clam clinic first. As for the shell pickup, we started picking up the shell recently. Let's just give a report. Is Saturday, August 24th. I got 15 buckets from Bryac, 3 buckets from Fairfield Country Club, 1 bucket from Blue and Berry, 2 buckets from Martell, and 0 buckets from South Bay, who said they don't do it anymore. And Saturday, August 31st, we got 6 buckets from Bryac, 0 buckets from the Country Club, a 1/4 bucket from Blue and Berry, and 1 bucket from Martell. And then this past Saturday, September 7th, we got 1 1/3 buckets from Bryac, 1/3 of a bucket from Fairfield Country Club, 1/3 of a bucket from Blue and Berry, and 0 buckets from Martell. So it went 21 buckets the first week, 7 1/4 the second week, and 2 buckets the third week. Driving around for 2 buckets of shell doesn't add up. So we'll keep collecting the shell for now. I think Blue and Berry with 1/4 or 1/3 of a bucket a month is not worth picking up, and probably ending that stop. And then same with Fairfield Country Club. I mean, when we get in 3 weeks or 3 weeks, 4 buckets. In the first week is an anomaly anyway. And Martell is 1 bucket, so we'll keep picking up, and then I think next meeting we should decide if we wanna keep picking up shell from restaurants. It's I mean, one of the places, Blue and Berry, had the bucket inside, and it wasn't nice, that's all I'm gonna say.
Was it, could the numbers be affected because of summer break?
Possible. It's just you know, a hit or miss. If you're not gonna get anything, or not even
Yeah.
1 bucket, it's not worth driving over to Black Turnpike and then going all the way to conservation.
Yeah.
Doesn't make any sense. So how about we just keep picking up this month, and we'll discuss it next meeting. Anything else on oyster bed development?
If we stop picking up shell, would we stop using shell at all, or would we get shell from somebody else? What would we do?
So we're gonna discuss it at the next meeting. All right, because we wanna get to the clam clinic. All right. Communications, so we're done with oyster bed development, let's go to communications.
So the fact that we got written up in the first selectman's weekly email is a good thing as far as the general populace that's not currently permit holders. I'm optimistic about people reading about that and being aware of the clam clinic. I posted today, we'll post 2 more times this week, so the people that follow Facebook, that's our more interactive account than the Instagram one, so that'll make sure people that are actually permit holders and follow that, they'll be aware of it. The opportunity I think we have is, since we're in the afternoon this time and not the morning, we're gonna have a lot of people that don't really know what's going on, and we're gonna be a new thing to them. I would like to, 2 things. Number 1, to make sure we maximize people that aren't permit holders already. If everybody at this table right now has a Facebook account, if you could just simply take the 1 picture, I'll send it around, and just put it out there on your feeds. It'll get us another couple of 100 people around town that don't otherwise see and know about it. No need to call people individually. The other thing is, it occurs to me that we've got probably somewhere stored hats, t-shirts, and other things. John and I texted about potentially a giveaway with gift certificates, some oysters, clams, that sort of thing. It wouldn't be the worst thing if we had some giveaways that we didn't sell at a table, but we approved some money here. We figured out, give it to kids, give it to people that are enthusiastic about what they're doing, let them spread the word organically. And I think whether it's permits this year or just general awareness of what we're doing, we can get a good ROI.
Yes, so we've got a commitment for a donation of a oyster gift basket from Jimmy Bloom, the Oyster Shack, down in Stratford. It's I don't know what it is, but.
That's something physical we can have on hand and.
Well, it's gonna be a basket with like a shucker in it and a bunch of oyster
Cool.
stuff.
Yep.
So then I was thinking, that's a donation, last year we had some donations from a restaurant, but that restaurant's no longer, so we can't use that. So I was thinking if we could, what does a plate of oysters cost? $50?
I usually, you mean like where, just around town?
Grey Goose.
I usually get like half dozen or like the fire roasted ones. I think those are. I think it's probably $25 for 6 of them, something like that.
What, you think we should have like we'll have a prize or a giveaway as a $50 tray of oysters?
Yeah, I think just having
What
some.
is Bryaxshire? They're the ones who generate the most shell.
Right.
Yeah,
I mean, why aren't we focusing on them?
We could.
I mean, I'm just saying
yeah,
that,
I agree.
We can also, so we're in a discussion, so we can also do the same thing at Bryac. And I was thinking the other one was Nordic Fish. So if we had one from Grey Goose, one from Bryac, one from Nordic Fish.
who's doing the chowder?
Someone has offered to make the chowder. It's a friend of mine that owns a restaurant in Bedford Hills. And they were gonna make Manhattan clam chowder and a New England clam chowder.
Fabulous.
Is that okay with everyone?
Fabulous.
Fine.
All right,
Do we need cups or anything, or is that gonna be included?
so how many cups? Were there any cups left or do we need to get more cups? Well,
I don't,
actually, we're
I-
not
I-
on the clam clinic yet, but yeah.
well, when we get to Clam Clinic, we talk about that.
All right.
All right, so if we're talking about getting gift certificates, we mentioned 3 places, what, $50 per place?
I think so.
So we're looking to approve 150 for that. And then do we have, I think Tim used to have them, the shirts and the hats and that sort of thing?
Shirts and everything like
We have
that,
all that
all in
stuff?
the locker, yeah. We have red shirts for volunteers and for us. And we have the blue shirts for sale.
Yep.
And there should be some hats in there.
I'd like to suggest that we give some away. We give people a positive experience. They're not necessarily all gonna buck up.
We could do that with the painted shells.
You mean what? If you find one, then you get one?
Yeah,
Should
Sure. How many of those do we have?
Card or a
How many, do we have painted shells? We gotta paint some shells.
we usually have some, but
Okay.
you're gonna paint it.
How many do you want?
Probably 10 painted shells, you think?
Yeah, it's fine.
And so we could do 5 t-shirts or 5 t-shirts and hats and like
That's
$5,
it.
$10
Just-
gift cards or
Okay.
something.
That's it. Just the Easter egg element of out in the water, get a lucky one. That's all we're after.
All right, so let's move on quickly.
Yep.
Off of communication. So Sean's gonna handle sending more things out.
and I'll
then
put it on Moms of Fairfield.
And then if anyone knows any of your friends that have been volunteers in the past, remind them and ask them if they'll come down and help. All right, upwellers, the upwellers are shut down or wrapped up for the season. On the upwellers, I suggest that make sure we look into getting a extra pump. We didn't get one this year. And what we really need is an electric power washer to spray those down. So there's a DeWalt power washer. It's 3100 PSI. It's a decent size and it's $499 at Home Depot. So I guess I can make a motion to approve $500 to buy a power washer.
Sure, I'll second it.
All in favor?
I,
Motion approved. Alright. Okay. We're gonna go to reports from the Conservation Department. Our Shellfish Fund balance is $28,549 as of August 31st, 2024. That'll go down a little bit coming up. Shellfish permits, as stated, 303. Closure period, open 109, closed 135. And we're not gonna comment on the Shellfish Commission budget status. All right, so we're gonna go to old business to discuss the clam clinic. So, on the clam clinic. Let's go over everything. What's that? The band?
The band, she's curious if we have an extra tent that they can use.
Yes.
Yes, we do, okay. And what time do we,
Also, you mentioned that they have to have a printed in.
I asked them to
Printed
bring in a
invoice.
printed invoice.
Yes, the town will not
Um,
accept anything handwritten.
And what time would you like them?
At least by 1 o'clock.
Okay, I kind of told her like probably 1 to 3.
It's fine, as long as they're there. Well, tell them to get there at like 12:45 or 12:30. Right, 12:45.
Start setting up to start playing, because what we have people probably start showing up around 1, we think.
Oh, yeah. Starts at
Okay.
1:30.
Starts at 1:30.
And with invoice.
I don't wanna hear under the sea more than 4 times.
You can hear it all day, as many times as there's
Just keeps
people in
playing in the
there.
background and then the guy in the front just
Yeah,
changes whatever he's doing.
Let me just see what she had.
Alright,
Four times
are you gonna
max.
make it to the, are you away?
I am here on Saturday.
Okay.
My daughter will be with me volunteering, my 23-year-old. Eric can come to help get some of the stuff ready to go, but
Okay.
then he does have to leave.
Alright, good. Alright, Cindy, you're gonna paint up some shells?
Mm-hmm.
You have shells?
Yep. I usually take my son, we go down the pile and we just pick out a bunch.
Oh, yeah, there's a ton down there.
Yeah, so that's no problem.
Alright, so we need 10 painted ones. Should we have like a color scheme that gets you the better prize, or the shirt and hat or something?
I have red spray paint, though, I mean, I can always buy something else, but red is gonna
Get red.
definitely.
I think
Get the red.
It's all about the
Red.
value.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like, it was
Let them
Glengarry
choose.
Glen Ross with a
Yeah,
Cadillac
let
and
them
stick.
choose.
Yes.
Let them
You know what,
choose.
whoever finds the shells
You
first.
choose.
You get a call when you get.
You gotta have her-
Bring it in.
Heather
First come,
then.
first served.
Paint up some shells.
How do we figure out who gets the oyster basket and?
We're gonna have to come up with a way.
Maybe make one shell, multiple colors.
Or how about I just
Yeah.
write something on there? I can just do like an extra decoration on it or something like that, just
Something.
said like the bonus prize.
Oh, so the
Yeah,
shells
but
won't
everybody
get you
finds
the
it.
baskets though.
Oh, okay.
I think.
What do you get the basket?
I think you just drop your name in.
Yeah, I think drop name in.
You get one ticket and you drop it in.
Do we have tickets?
No, I'll have to make up some kind of ticket.
I mean,
You can buy them at like Staples.
you just buy a roll.
Buy a roll of, maybe I have some then. You're talking about the ones where you rip it off?
Yeah,
Yeah.
So if they drop in the side, just put their name and phone number on it.
yeah.
Yeah, I think it's just,
That's fun.
cause really the shells should be for the kids, right? Cause if the parents want the basket or the gift cards, they're gonna find those
Well,
shells.
and they might not find the shell.
They're gonna find them.
Okay.
Actually, everything will be covered. It's gonna be tough to find them. We'll just keep them in a little close. But, all right, so Cindy, you're on painting shells and on the load up also, yes, right? All right, Bruce,
That was looking good.
do you wanna be involved in the chowder tent again?
Sure.
Okay,
The question is, what are they providing? Are they providing a cauldron of chowder? And do we provide cups and so on and so forth?
yeah, I think we'll provide the cups and the spoons and the napkins. And they'll provide the chowder and we'll provide the burner and the gas.
So I'll have to check on my cup. I've got some cups. I don't know whether I can get cups.
What do you think we bought last time, 200?
Did you go to
Yeah,
Globe?
and that was for the
I don't know where you go. I think we
spat
did.
collection. Gave out chowder there. One of those event,
Did you go to Globe to get them?
no, I don't. I get everything. I get 7-ounce hot drink cups. And they're hard to get because
Good.
everybody else has bigger ones and normally, you know, when I do the St. Paul's pancake breakfast, I always get 7-ounce hot drink cups.
So do you wanna get the cups and the spoons and the napkins?
Yes.
Alright, so how many you think we should get?
Well, I never wanna run out, so I always wanna have 200 or 300. I mean, when I do the
Yeah, like
pancake breakfast, I buy.
Only 300, right? Let's get 300. Alright, Bruce Charter tent and. Alright, Sean and myself are gonna be on the boat tomorrow.
And they, what quantity are they providing?
So I told them that I usually make a 16 quart pot. And I figured you probably made about the same.
I guess, I don't know,
So I looked on the box that my pot is in and it said 16 quart on it. It's about this round and about that high.
yeah, mine's usually a little bit more, but anyway, okay, that's fine. If we run out, we run out.
Yeah,
They may be making 4 of these things. I'm not sure. So I'll talk to them tomorrow. Alright, Sean, you're gonna go on the boat and then at the actual clinic, can you handle the rakes and all that stuff for part of the time?
My blue truck is in the shop, that's the problem.
No, I mean at the actual clinic,
Oh,
like
yeah,
part of the rake tent and then pictures and all
Sure.
that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And then I know Bob Billick's gonna be there. He'll probably be out clamming.
We have the trailer, we're gonna load the trailer up Saturday morning.
Actually, conservation guys are gonna load the trailer up on Friday.
Perfect.
And Saturday, we're gonna fill up a cooler with ice.
Yep.
And we may, I don't know if the ice machine will recover, let's say, it might refill. We may wanna get a bunch of ice out of the ice machine on Friday if we can,
Another,
and then do another one on Saturday. And we'll be able to talk to JP and John, because we're gonna see them with the boat tomorrow. To find out when they might be there that we could possibly do that.
Do you need coolers?
I know there's a cooler, there should be cooler in the trailer, and I think I have a big white cooler. So I think we usually use the big giant white one I have and another one we have in the trailer. Conservation
we
may
have the
have one.
bags, do we have the bags?
So we have we have a bunch of bags, all the red bags.
we've been finding ice every year.
So I went down and checked the trailer, we have a ton of bags, we have the shirts and all that stuff. We have the burner. I'll bring a couple cans of propane or a can of propane for the burner. Me and Sean are gonna plan clams tomorrow. Tim, Bishop. After we're done planting,
Yes.
can you close the beds?
Yes,
Okay. So we'll
problem.
close from tomorrow morning until Saturday, start of clinic, 1:30. Okay.
So, I'm sorry, the rakes are gonna be added to the trailer, but who's bringing the trailer down to the beach?
Conservation staff, we have JP and John are gonna be with us from 12:30 to 4:30.
on
So they're gonna
Saturday?
bring, on Saturday.
Okay.
They're gonna bring the trailer down
Alright, cool.
and help carry them out to the tent and stuff like that, I guess.
Are we gonna try and kind of claim part of the beach?
So,
Fun.
yeah, I thought about that. So we should probably go down and set up the tent earlier, like when no one's at the beach, claim the spot. So we're gonna probably have our big tent and a couple other tents, of the
We
chowder.
have 3 tents, one for the band, one for the chowder, and then the big one.
Yeah.
Or maybe even 4, cause
It
we
might
have.
be 4 tents, yeah. And
we have
then,
4?
I think we have 4, I know I have a couple, I think I always bring 1 or 2. Yeah, so I think we should put up our tents and then,
I think that we say it's like kind of towards like the left side,
yeah, the
leaving
left,
plenty of room
like
for,
from the middle towards the left.
yeah, so we're leaving the
Yeah.
other
So set up
area.
our tents and maybe put a couple of cones on the beach, just so people realize like there's something that's gonna go on.
Yeah.
And,
Well, if we put up, there's a pretty strong message, if you put up that big red tent that says the Shellfish Commission, then it sends a message, and especially,
Absolutely.
you know, and I think that works pretty well.
Okay, yeah, that's what we're gonna do. I don't know if we can block off any parking spaces, but
I don't think. You do not need a beach permit now.
Right.
right. So I don't know if we can block off any parking spaces, but when we get there at like 12:30, we should probably block off a few just for people we know are gonna be showing up, such as maybe the band or the first selectman, you know, just save a few spots. I don't know, you know, the weather's gonna be beautiful. So there's gonna be people at the beach. But I think we're getting there early enough where the sunsetters are not gonna be there yet.
Yep.
So. What else do we have to do? Tim, you're all set with the officer? Are we having an
Yes,
officer?
I emailed the police chief and the Parks and Rec director this morning, just as a reminder. I didn't hear a confirmation, but they were notified a month or two ago when the date was set, so they're aware of it. I just haven't received a response from the reminder.
Okay, and we're gonna talk about this is, we're not gonna have the conservation office staff doing permits because we'll have our QR code there. And we'll just set up a table, and if people wanna get a permit, they can just,
We still have those in the locker?
we should have them in the locker, we have the signs at the beach. Are there any extra signs, or we just got those 2 signs?
I have one sign at our counter in the department, and that's for the status. For the purchase, I've already printed a QR code, a large QR code for the table, so people can scan that and purchase that day.
Okay.
And should we come pick that up from you, or are you coming, or, I know you're busy?
I should be coming. I could coordinate that with you.
Okay.
To hand off the sign, I thought would go nicely on the table, just so people
Yes.
and the QR code on a separate sheet.
Alright, perfect. And we'll set up another table with all the info on what we do and all that. What else do we got? Tim, are we forgetting anything on the clinic? Alright,
I think you hit it all. I also, Prue probably saw it, but left an example of the newer permit cards with the QR code on it, with your name on it.
Sorry.
It was taped to the lid of the box. Just to show everyone, and
alright, so
if anyone wants one, just let
our
me
new
know. I'll
permit
print
cards,
everyone.
Bruce, remember your idea?
Yeah.
It's there. So we have the QR code, so if you wanna know if the beds are open and closed, you just scan it, it takes you to the webpage that shows if it's open or closed.
Open or closed clam, love it.
The open and closed plan. And you tried it, it works? On the
Yeah,
card?
we've been handing them out. Somebody bought one this morning, and they tried it at the counter, and I know it works, but before I started printing.
You'll be
but-
very disappointed to find out it's
Okay.
closed
Do they
every morning.
So-
know what this mean? Can we write something on their shellfish bed status?
There's not much room. We tell everyone over the counter, but it's also on the website in multiple places.
When we mail them out to people, we ought to make note of that in the text. In other words, just remind people, it's fine when they go to the counter, but we're trying to do as much as possible away from the counter. I mean, you've
It's
done a
also
great
pretty-
job. It's great the way it is.
On the language of the permit, so
Okay,
it's in the permit paperwork.
Yeah.
excellent. Oh, that's good.
Alright. Alright, Bruce, anything else on the clinic? Go,
No,
Cindy?
No. You want us there for 12:30?
Yeah, setting up the tents. Has anyone got any time in the morning to go over there?
I'll go over.
1, 2, 3,
I could get Eric to go over like 11, much earlier than that though.
alright,
He works Friday night.
see, I could probably get a couple people together. So we need like, I think to set up that big tent, you need 6, I think you need 6.
I might have one other person.
Okay, so we'll just text
Yep.
and meet up and set up the tent real quick.
What time are you gonna do that, 11?
No, we wanna probably try to do it a little earlier than that.
I mean, we're just setting it up and then leaving it, so it doesn't, I mean,
What time might be good for you?
let's say 10 o'clock.
10 o'clock? All right, Bruce, 10 o'clock. Was that 10 o'clock?
I can't
No, for
physically.
Eric.
For Eric.
Oh, well, Eric
it may
was
be too
11,
early
okay.
for him.
All right,
Yeah.
so we got 3, 4,
Could you do 11?
I've got 2 other people, so I
Sure.
think we're good.
Okay.
All right, so I'll just get in touch with you guys and we'll meet up at 10 o'clock. All right,
So Dan wants to know, will they be picking up cash after the gig?
yes.
But they lose money if they play under the sea more than 4 times.
I mean, what is it? What do we get? They're playing for 2 hours, right?
Yeah.
They're definitely gonna hit it 4 times.
Just get used to earplugs. But, little kids like it. Kids can
Yeah.
listen to it all day.
Okay,
That's why we were probably scarred from kids listening to it when they were younger.
That's true.
all right, so it should be a pretty good clam clinic.
Yeah.
Like I said, the weather's gonna be beautiful, so sun makes it so you can see in the water and there'll be plenty of clams out there. And everyone will have a good time. It's gonna be a lot of work. All right, so we're done with the clam clinic discussion? Okay. New business, new signage for Shellfish bed status. So Tim, everyone wasn't here, just you wanna just go over it real quick?
Yeah, sure. And I could probably share my screen too if we want, but so everyone knows the old method of the hotline, the phone hotline, or the manual flip sign at the guard shack is done by TQ hotline, and the flip sign has been replaced with a metal sign with a QR code on it, as well as another similar sign next to the kiosk at the beach. I have another one mounted on the wall at our counter, and have a 4th one that's just loose that said will be shared for this weekend. So similar to Parks and Rec's field status, it's the same method. Turn your phone camera on, scan the QR code, it instantly goes to the town homepage and shows you an open clam in green or a Ghostbusters style red with a closed clam. As soon as I get the closure document from DABA, within, I say less than an hour, but it's more like less than 5 minutes, I close it on the website, and that's effective immediately. All of this process has been updated in the MOU that DABA is working on finalizing now. I met with Water Pollution Control WPCF this morning to finalize their comments on the MOU, so that will be processed to incorporate those changes on our end, and as well as WPCF's had a few changes. So everything is through the website. That there's a link on the Conservation Department homepage. There's a tab on the Shellfish Commission homepage, and there's also another link on the Shellfish Commission homepage under bed status. So it's in 3 different places. Should someone want to snoop around the homepages and find it, but scanning the QR code takes you there immediately. So it eliminates a problem that I've noticed in the department with people calling on the weekends saying the sign says open, but we get a closure and I have no staff to go physically close it, or flip the sign, or change the voice recording, or one gets open and one stays closed, whatever. It's inefficient chaos. So by consolidating and centralizing the sharing of information that's accurate. We've eliminated all of that. So I haven't had any complaints, and now with the at Bruce's suggestion, printing the QR code on the new plastic permits, there's really no excuse or effort involved to take the phone out of your hand and look at the status before you go. It's virtually instant and up to date. And like I said, too, the permit language I did change with Parks and Rec. So when we physically print out the permit and the receipt, the new language on there is reflective of all of these changes. So that's the new process. I haven't had any complaints or questions really. So I think my comments, feedback that I received from DABA was they loved it and had no changes that that were made to the MOU. And, we'll see how it goes, but I think it's all positive.
It's definitely positive. It eliminated 4 emails, a phone call, driving to flip the sign, status shopping, all that. So, yeah, it's definitely was the best move. Thank you, Tim.
Tim, on a totally separate note, when people get permits, do we get their email address?
Yeah, so the software system that we're using is excellent. Most people don't even have to be re-entered. We just find their name in the system already, because at some point they've either bought a shellfish permit, bought a beach sticker, I don't know, have a dump pass, whatever. Somehow, some way, they're already in the system. 99 out of 100. So there is probably a way to work with IT and RepTrack, who's the software company, to have a mass email if that's where you're getting at. But I think that number is
that's where I'm heading. If we have 300 and plus permit holders, and we want to send an email blast out to them and saying, by the way, the Shellfish Clinic is this Saturday. We know they have permits. They know they have an interest. They've made a small investment, and it would just be a great way of sort of a wake-up call in case they weren't aware of it, because not everybody, it's a busy time.
But we won't be sending out status updates via.
No, nothing to do with status updates. It's a total separate subject.
So that's what we're talking about.
I understand that. That's why I prefaced my comments by saying this is not related, but if we send something, do an email blast about the clinic to those folks, it may not be possible to generate a list that quickly.
Yeah, I don't think it will. Last I knew from IT, the old list was in the 700s, so I don't think I'd be able to get IT and
well, I mean, the reason I mention it is Parks and Rec sends out a email blast to all of its beach sticker holders. By the way, don't forget to renew. And I thought that we might be able to do that. I don't know.
We could do something like that in December, reminding people that they need to get new permits in January.
We can do that too, but I'm just saying that when we're talking about spreading the word about the clinic.
Yeah, we used to be able to do it.
I could
Right
find
now
out
we
either way.
can't. All right, so Tim, you'll look into that? Thanks.
Yeah, I'll look into it if it's possible to do before Saturday, since tomorrow's already Thursday, but if not, for some other.
Yeah, even if it can't happen before the clinic, just for the future.
It might be nice to do it in December, so people know.
Yeah. December, and then we'll probably have another clinic in the spring coming up, so.
I mean, taking sort of Sean's ideas, you could say, the first 50 people that sign up are gonna get a hat, or, would have a drawing amongst so many people, just to encourage people to sign up at the beginning. It's hard to get people in January to want to go in the water.
Yeah,
Oysters are out there though.
okay, Informational, so Tim, we have something came in from Race and do we want to talk about that tonight?
Yes, there was something similar to, I don't actually recall what it was because I've gotten a few things from Race.
Okay.
It was another permission, this was another water activity with the bridge, if I recall. That wasn't included in this packet, so.
All right,
don't know if you wanna-
Lower Wharf improvements,
or
is
not.
that the one?
I
that
think
just
so,
came
yeah.
in?
The
I
state,
don't know what we can discuss on this, because I don't have anything other than email.
the state bond commission is going to bond some of the repairs to the lower wharf. And they wanted to include the northern section as well, which is just piles, which was never accessible, in other words, because it had no decking on it. The whole project is a little over $1 million, I believe. They have to rebuild the seawall because the seawall's in bad shape. And the permit with DEEP does not include, or the previous application and communication with DEEP focused on the south section of the lower wharf. It did not include the north section. And the bond commission from the state is saying, we'd like you to do the whole thing. So
Okay.
Race is tasked with going to DEEP on that.
So our input on that would be almost the same as what's going on at Perry's Green and Pequot Yacht Club. It's kind of the same kind of work, right? Would you
No,
say?
It's directly, this is right across, it's on the western side of the harbor where they're going to be doing taking the sand out. So it's in exactly the same area. Is there anything there? I have no idea. I would tend to doubt it. There's a lot of mud.
So Tim, do we want to respond to that with basically the same kind of response we did for Perry's Green and Pequot Yacht? They're rebuilding their seawalls there, and it was
Yeah, I was just
basically,
locating that email. It was last Thursday, the 5th from Race.
yeah,
On
I
behalf
found
of
the
the,
email, but I don't have the
found it.
attachment.
Nothing would happen on the South Wharf area until next spring. And I believe that Bill Hurley is gonna be involved with that.
Yeah, I don't have the packet, so.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Yeah, okay,
I'm
so,
fine with completing that if the commission wants to authorize me, sending
Yes.
that.
yeah, if you would, thank you. All right, anything else? So we're basically on other, I got an email today and a phone call from Dave Carey and Lydia Bienlin about collecting 33 market-sized oysters from Sasko Beach. They'd like them early next week, so I said either I or someone or a few people on the commission could go down to Sasko and find 33 oysters that are 3 inches.
That may be hard.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Maybe if anyone else is free, low tide is at like 4 something.
I mean, I haven't been down there to look, but when I was down there, before the
There's-
season ended
sparse.
previously, there were
Scarce.
no oysters there. I mean,
Wow.
the only oysters you found were on the breakwater there.
Yeah, so this is
There were
a
none in the water.
for a
Waste of time.
oyster pathology sample, so we gotta try to find at least 33 oysters that are like 2.5 to 3 inches. So we'll find them, but
When
so
you need them,
Monday, At low tide is at like 4-ish or 4:30. Let me just check the weather, cause I think that hurricane's coming our way at some point. Alright, so it looks clear on Monday, so I'm gonna go down there at low tide on Monday and start
I
searching
can see
out
if
some.
Eric can go down and help you.
Alright, yeah, cause if we have a few people, maybe we
Yeah,
can
I have back issues. I can't bend right now,
reach
so,
different spots on the beach or something.
but I can ask Eric if he's available to go help you at that time.
Alright,
Are there any oysters that are actually in the water?
so sometimes you find them in the water, sometimes in the grass. We did dump a lot of oysters
Eric and I
into
brought a
the,
bunch down, dumped them in the grass last year.
yeah, in the grass and in the jetty, so there might be some oysters there. We'll have to take a look,
Or maybe some over where the steamers are.
yeah,
I feel like when I've gotten steamers, I've seen them.
on the,
I've given up on steamers. He can find them. I've
gotta get that special rake.
got the special.
It's a two-man
Alright,
I
job.
so-
got a lot of
back to
steamers.
the-
It's a two-man job.
Back to the clam clinic,
Right.
we have to remind everyone that oyster season is still closed. And if anyone has any oysters, I gotta toss them back. Alright, so we'll get that done.
Season started in September.
I thought it was
No, October.
October
We
1st.
changed it to October.
I thought it was always from
It used
closed
to
on
be,
June 1st or something and opens,
I thought we-
Our months.
is it
yeah,
September?
no,
Rich?
no, it's October.
Is that October?
It's October.
should
We
probably
did it
know.
because of,
Vibrio.
yeah,
Well, we'll double check. If it's open, it's open. If it's closed, it's closed.
we extended it.
Alright, anything
because of
else?
that. A couple years ago, we made that change.
Nothing else? We're good to close it up for the night?
We're good.
Anything else?
We'll just text each other.
Good?
No, I have nothing. Do you want to either when you want me to close tomorrow morning?
Yeah, I'll email you, and so we're going out at 9, we're gonna be done by 10, you know, it's not, over 2,000 clams. So, let's see, the tide is what? Low at like, yeah,
gonna-
you
it's
better
gonna be-
close it probably at 10 o'clock.
Okay,
Alright.
will do. Thank you.
Excellent.
Should you close it before you go down there? Should you close it at 9?
Okay.
I could close it now if you want, but
I mean,
It's gonna,
Um,
it's gonna be low at 12:40 tomorrow.
I think it's a decent, somebody might be planning their morning now.
close it now. Alright, thanks.
close
That's
it.
better.
it's closed at night, it's closed at night anyway. It's not low tide till
Tomorrow
12:30.
is 1.5 feet,
Yeah, it's a bad tide, right? Plus 1.5, right?
plus 1.5. The high tide is only 6 feet.
So there won't be any sand, so we'll put the clams in, they'll get to dig in. And we won't have any sand at the clinic either, it's gonna be shallow, but I think we're plus a foot.
Get those babies in.
You know, Saturday it's a 2:46 PM and it's 0.9. It's almost a foot.
Almost a foot, yeah.
I mean,
All right,
tides are really wimpy, 6.5 feet.
It's the
Alright.
whole year has been funny with the tides.
that's the thing.
It'll
They're
be
in the water.
It'll be fine. Alright, last thing on other, did anyone see any of these rockets fly by in the morning? On Tuesday or today?
I just got back.
Tim, did you see the rocket? No,
I did not.
the
Oh,
Pegasus or
the
whatever,
Musk things?
yeah, flew, you could see it in Connecticut.
Interesting.
It went right up the coast, I guess it was pretty. Has nothing to do with clams. but A lot of people go to the beach to see that stuff. Alright, who wants to make a motion to adjourn the meeting?
So move.
I'll second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion approved, meeting ended.
Alrighty.
Alright, we'll be in touch over the next 2 days.